All episodes of the Terrible Gamers podcast contain subject matter and language that some audiences may find offensive. The opinions expressed during the podcast are conversational in nature and expressed only for comedic purposes. We are not licensed by any game company, we just enjoy playing games. Not all the facts will be correct, but we will attempt to be as accurate as possible. By listening to this podcast, you understand that it is solely for entertainment purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
You know I don't play video games no more. Tiny bit of video game. I guess I still play fucking video games. Yeah!
Hello and welcome to another episode, another season
Oh, yes.
of the Terrible Gamers podcast.
Yes.
Season
Three.
3.
That's season 6, but okay.
3. All right. So today we have a fun-filled episode.
Sorry.
A little different from our full episodes.
Cropping an image.
Little different from what we normally do on our full
Yes.
episodes.
We have a fun idea.
Fun idea.
Well, kind of branching from last week's verses.
Yes. So we will get to that in just a second. This is the Terrible Gamers podcast, the only retro video game podcast in the entire Brantwood and Fairmeadow
World.
areas. Yes, in the world. in all of Brantwood and Fairmeadow, Indiana, Northwest Indiana, and the entire Chicagoland area, because nobody is dumb enough
Or stupid enough.
to do what we do. But here we are, doing it for you.
And we're doing it good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're doing real good.
Doing it so good we forgot to go grab our beer before we hit record.
Oh, crud.
Just
I will
realized
make an exit here at some point and leave Kyle solo. Hopefully he's not like us. Cricket, cricket, cricket.
Just picking my nose.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so today's episode is going to be a fun one. But before we get into that, make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms.
All the
YouTube,
things.
Instagram, Spotify, Podbean, Spreaker, everywhere you can get audio. And for video, make sure you check out YouTube
Did we
and our
ever
link tree down below.
Confirm that we are an Apple podcast.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah.
too.
So, and we are currently streaming live on Twitch.
We're
Terrible Gamers Pod
twitching.
P1 is myself and our main account, and Terrible Gamers Pod P2
Yeah,
is
we'll throw down
Kyle.
on some P2.
Yes, and both of us have been a little inactive.
I dabble
Yeah,
when I got time. I mean, I got
just
I got
haven't.
3 kids. I just took 1 kid to college. Like, I got shit going on.
Yeah,
2 jobs, podcast, wife, bills. Shit happens, man. You know.
we got sports in our house.
Yeah, you're nuts with club and
My
shit.
my one daughter's on her way home right now from sports.
Well, my one son, literally one son. He is going to start playing guitar, learning guitar.
Nice.
So he's gonna have guitar lessons once a week.
It's like your brother, huh?
Well, I don't remember if Charlie had lessons. He must have at some point.
But he played.
He definitely played.
Yeah.
Should have just asked him to do it like on Zoom meetings or something. Probably pay him less.
Or not at all.
I don't know.
I mean,
using
we would
somebody's time
totally
up.
pay you.
In memories.
So yeah, so we are pretty busy, so our Twitch has not been popping like we thought it was going to over the summer, but here we are. But that's all right. So yeah, so we have a
Which is neat. We need to find a regularly scheduled time, and that's the thing that never
That's-
happens. Because
I
that's what
don't-
people do. They
I
schedule
know.
out their Twitch shit.
I know, but mine would be at like 12:30 at night.
Yeah,
And I'm
now
not
I'm
doing
back
it.
in school, and I gotta be getting rest.
Yeah.
I gotta be getting rest.
Yeah, we went to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock last night, and it was glorious.
I went to bed at like 1 last night.
I woke
so-
up at like 5:45 this morning and was like, I'm good. So I went golfing 6:15.
Yeah, we got back from dropping off my oldest at college. It was after midnight, and just by the time you wind down,
Oh yeah.
it was like 1 a.m. Like,
For sure.
shit.
For sure. So, just some real quick housekeeping things. Make sure you check out our TeePublic down below, and
In the link tree down below,
In our
yes.
link tree down below, make sure you check out TeePublic. That way you can get some Terrible Gamers merch.
I'm the only one sporting it right now.
I am not sporting the Terrible Gamers merch. I'm gonna give you a little.
Is that also on TeePublic?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is on TeePublic, but I'm gonna give you a little insider for next week, or
2
2
weeks.
weeks from now. But just a little teaser. I'm not
Well,
gonna
I
go.
wonder if we should throw down a versus. Yeah,
I got some
we got
ideas.
ideas.
We got ideas, so we'll get in that. But tune in to
Yo.
next week, because we have been promising this
For over a year.
for well over a year. But this is actually happening, and I don't want to spoil it. Tune in next week to find out more.
If you're a regular listener, you know we're saying.
Yes. So Reaper Apparel Company, make sure you check them out. Also in the link tree down below. They have some great stuff, great merch. Check it out. They got some old stuff. Live every day by the Reaper. Great message.
Live each day to its fullest. Don't fear the Reaper.
And while you're doing that, W Energy Drink.
Yeah, you threw a couple of their slogans together in one thing.
Yeah, I know.
W Energy Drinks is a good old fashioned gamer fuel kind of energy idea, but it doesn't have it doesn't have sugar. I want 2, please. Never know what he's doing back there. Sorry. I got lost in a what was that? Wedding Crashers reference? My bad. So W Energy Drinks, it's got amino acids for it's brain fuel, right? So it doesn't have a bunch of sugar like a Red Bull or fucking, I don't know, Monster or those drinks. It's caffeine in some of them, and then it's got vitamin B vitamins and brain amino acids. Like, it's just good. And
Vitamins and minerals.
and they taste good. Like, just check it out. W Energy Drinks. Link is in the link tree. Just do it. You're not gonna be upset. You're gonna be like, he was totally right. This is delicious.
For sure. And
You're
great.
gonna look at the price tag and be like, oh, that's a little rich. But if you use our link, it should give you 10% off. That'll soften the blow a little bit. That gets you, I don't know, like a week's worth of drinking for free, because you get 1 scoop a day and you're good. And that's what they sell you. Sell you a month worth. So check out those W Energy drinks. But what are we drinking?
Today we are drinking Michelob Ultra.
What do you think of the Michelob Ultra commercials? I'll play it for a Michelob Ultra.
Oh, they're stupid.
Yeah, I mean, like,
They're kind of dumb. They're
like,
lame.
or we could just play. or you know, we're already here. Let's just play like we planned on doing.
And drink.
And then we can buy each other Mick Ultras after, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, maybe that's too. Everyone gets a trophy, but I'm not gonna play nobody for a Michelob Ultra.
No, I'm gonna want something a little more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, great job. I heard absolutely everything you said about W Energy Drink.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
Probably because you've heard it 53 times before.
We have.
And we didn't start right off the bat.
Yeah, maybe like 50. So I don't know. I'm excited for today. So, today
we should look back and see when we started repping the apparel and the dubbies.
That's a good. Yeah, that's
I'm working my way through the podcast, listening. So
episode 2
I'll
or
let you
3.
know when I get there. It's definitely not before 5.
No, I'm saying like for episode 2 or 3 of season 3, we can talk about that, because I think the next 2 weeks are going to be kind of
Mash.
filled. Yeah. But
right. What are we doing today, Cal?
Today we got a fun one. We're going to do a little not March Madness bracket.
Retro
We are doing a retro video game console bracket.
You got it up on the screen?
I clicked the wrong screen. There it is.
We found this image. Well, Kevin found this image. The best console of all time ultimate tournament. And it was like, hey, like, we argued about the 3 have-to-have games from our favorite consoles. So, spoiler, those are probably going to make it deep into the bracket. But we got this bracket to work off of.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do this. Let's argue this. Now, we're not going to argue it against each other. This is not a versus episode.
We are going to try to come up with
the Terrible Gamer version of the
ultimate best. Yeah, the Terrible Gamers.
Certified.
Absolutely.
Best console.
This is the official. Because nothing's going to be more official than our bracket.
Right. We just need a magazine. We just need to start a magazine. Terrible Game Informer.
I like it.
So, I think we just got sued.
We may have, yeah.
All right. So what's where do we start?
All right.
Top left.
I'm thinking we start with the top left.
That's one of the hardest ones on.
Okay,
here.
let's start top right. Then.
That's an easy one for me. We have the PS2 versus the Game Boy Color.
All right, let's talk.
Yeah, we'll back off.
We have an hour to discuss this bracket, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna take this hour, our hour full episode, and we are gonna do this. And maybe what we do, the champion, we play one game. We look up what is the greatest of all time. What is the greatest? Well, if we don't
of the official winner,
if we can, because we might not have all these systems.
True.
So,
yeah, we get. Yeah, there's a few on here that we wouldn't.
We'll play one game of something. We'll figure something out. Okay. Let's go through this. I think we have to look at what's the criteria, because when you look at, all right, it's PlayStation 2.
Okay, so should I pull up like our best bud here to see like what criteria we should use to judge a console?
Let's see what it says. Let's see what Pixel says. Because Pixel might give us a good start, a good idea.
Let me get into the Pixel Idea Factory here. The Pixel Pit Idea Factory.
Because here's my thought. When you're looking at some of these matchups, I feel like it's kind of hard to... Hold on 1 second.
He is crawling on the ground, folks. Crawling on the ground. Let you know.
I had to fix my fan.
If I'm like hunched over the computer, can you still see me?
I can. You're like hermit crab, but yes.
Okay.
Like I said, I messed up the camera this week because
yeah, we things
he,
got moved.
He might not be
So
in the
sorry
same.
if I'm not always there, guys. I know you love me.
We still need. You need to come this way more.
The whole time.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Ugh.
There you go. That's good.
Okay.
Now you're looking good.
I gotta move this. People can see my whole face. I'm not wearing glasses. Maybe that's a season 3 thing.
Ew, let's see what I look like without that. I don't have.
Yeah, tell me what you look like. Oh yeah, don't do that. We're going to do a matchup bracket of retro consoles.
I'll leave my glasses on.
What criteria should we use to judge consoles against each other? Question mark. All right. Pixel says, oh, a killer idea. Game library quality. Controller design.
Oh.
Cultural impact. Multiplayer factor. Innovations, graphics, and fun.
Okay. So, I feel like I need a notepad. Because if we're looking at this, I like these. So let's. How many?
7 criteria.
7. Okay, perfect. Because once something hits 4, it wins.
Okay.
I think we look at this because it's hard to say home console versus a handheld.
I think no handheld is going to make it past the first round.
I would disagree.
I bet you will, but there's no way. With these 7 criteria,
I'm not saying this matchup specifically, but if I'm looking at, I think there are some that have a chance.
no. But okay.
Switch is technically a handheld. It has a chance.
But it's technically not a handheld. I do not play Switch handheld very often.
Okay. So can I
It's also up against a fucking powerhouse.
that's the problem, man. That's okay.
I can continue to use Pixel 2 as a tiebreaker as well.
Can I get a notebook and a pencil or something, please?
You just use notes. You have the world at your fingertips.
I need to write this. Yeah.
He's old
school.
Because I was thinking if we didn't agree on the console, like the first bracket.
I guess are we going with our full blown opinions on this, or are we going with facts?
Yes. Facts influence opinions.
True. Because
the thing is we have to be joint. We have to decide who wins.
Yeah.
It's not I think this, so we flip. It's not a versus.
Because we could easily have just done our brackets, which I think maybe at the end, if we have time, I think we do that.
I think you're trying to fit a lot in an hour. I think if you want to do as much as you want, we have how many?
1, 2, 3, 4.
16.
We have eight matchups in the first round. Thank you, random stranger that we don't know who is that handed me.
It's our intern.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, intern. Okay. Oh. They already took the cap off for me. That's a good intern there.
Bonus.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we have 8 matchups, 16 consoles.
Okay, what are the criteria again? Sorry.
Oh, I got to switch back to a different tab.
I'm sorry. That's why I didn't see.
Game library quality.
Game library. Okay.
Controller and hardware design.
Controller. Hardware. Design. Okay.
Cultural impact.
Okay. Okay.
Multiplayer factor.
I feel like that one is a question. Go ahead.
Innovation and features.
Okay. Okay.
Graphics and sound.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And overall fun factor.
Overall. Okay, this is good. Okay, so let's jump right into it.
Okay. First, well, here, let me just give for our listeners the 16 consoles we were discussing.
Okay. Yes, good call.
Should I do in no specific order?
No, let's talk
Go
about
through?
the bracket.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in the East, we have
Never east. That would be to your right. Northeast.
okay. I don't know why, but I was picturing it backwards because from their point of view, but that's in no way how it
Never
works.
eat
From the
shit.
East, we're gonna have the PlayStation 2, the Game Boy Color, the PSP or the PlayStation Portable, the GameCube,
Matchup 2.
the
That's matchup 2.
yeah, so the Atari
Avatar.
2600 versus the Nintendo 64.
That one hurts me. Okay.
That's a tough one.
That
right
one
out.
hurts
And
me.
another one right out the gate, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System versus the Nintendo Switch.
That sucks. That just sucks. That's
Duke
that's
against
not
Kansas
fair. That
in
is
the
not
first
fair.
round.
That's not fair.
And then in the West, we got the Nintendo against the PS3, the Nintendo DS, which might go deep. No, never mind. Sega Genesis is what it's going up against. Then we got the Xbox.
Well, we know who my pick is.
And we got the Xbox 360 against the Nintendo Wii.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
That's a super tough one. And then we got the Game Boy Advance against the PS1 or the PSX.
Okay, I'm gonna try to take as much
Objectivity.
yes out of this as much as I can.
Right, because the nostalgia is really just the seventh criteria.
Oh
that
my-
fun factor. That's like the seven
No,
criteria.
the
section.
overall fun factor is
It's
the
pretty much nostalgia.
yes.
Yes.
I almost want to put nostalgia down for that.
But I would say
category.
that it's 7.
Yeah.
That's where nostalgia kicks in.
Okay.
All right. So first up, we're going where we want to start in the.
Can I ask a question about this one? About this matchup specifically. The first one that we're going to start off with is the PlayStation 2 versus the Game Boy Color.
Okay.
The Game Boy Color has a full library, but also includes the original Game Boy.
No, I would
So
say that's valid.
so are we with this one, just this console specifically? I don't think I'm going to have this with any other console looking through this. With this one specifically, are we looking at Game Boy Color and Game Boy or just Game Boy Color? Because that makes a huge difference.
Well,
I
think
feel
about it
like
this
it's-
way.
Because every game...
PS2 can play PS1 games, could it not?
No.
Are you sure?
It not... There was a version of it that didn't. I didn't think it was backwards compatible.
I thought it wasn't until the PS3 that you had no backwards compatibility.
There was some PS3 consoles that were backwards compatible.
Interesting. Okay. Well, then I would say we're just locking into that single console.
Oh, okay, well then that's a no-brainer there. Then that's a 1 versus 16. Because if you include the Game Boy Color, this is an 8-9 matchup in my opinion.
If you include the Game Boy itself.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would say no because you have the Advance also.
But the
in here.
Advance is a different cartridge.
Yeah, I get that.
Because some Game Boy Color games were...
Oh, nothing from the others would fit in the Advance. Is what you're saying.
Some Game Boy Advances... No, the Game Boy Advance, you could play
Color?
the Game Boy Color and Game Boy games, but you can't play a Game Boy Advance
On the other one.
game on there. Now, there were certain Game Boy Color games that you could play on the original Game Boy, and then certain Game Boy Color games that you could only play on the Game Boy Color. The reason being is, have you ever looked at a cartridge of a original from a Game Boy? They have a little notch right here. Some Game Boy Color games had that notch still, and some
So it fit?
yeah, and some did not. And the ones that did not would only fit a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advance. So that's why I asked that question.
I think we're just locking into the console on the screen.
Okay. All right, let's go through this. We're going to go through this objective.
as objectively as you can.
Yeah.
Here's another problem we're going to run into on the Nintendo Switch. You can play all those other games. Well, not all those, whatever's in their online library.
But
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't. For me, I don't feel like that counts.
Right, I agree. So if it doesn't count for the Switch, where you can do it, it shouldn't count for the color or the advance.
But you're using cartridges. You're using the same cartridges to put it into. I think you look at the full capability of the systems. That's what we're looking at here. Because if you're looking at that with the backwards compatibility,
where would that fall in with the criteria? As an innovation and feature?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, we'll leave it in.
So let's talk about game library. It is very well known and very well documented that the PlayStation 2 had one of the most vast game libraries of all time. And the types of games that came out of it were second to none, especially at the time. Especially at the time. And some of them still hold up today. The PlayStation 2 game library was very expansive. When you look at the Game Boy Color, because you were able to utilize original Game Boy games and it upgraded the graphics of those original Game Boy games, I think you look at that game library, and Game Boy always had a huge game library. And I mean I'm just trying to like look at this, and I'm gonna go on my separate screen here to look. When I look at Game Boy Color, there's 535 games. The original Game Boy was 563.
Well, yeah, the Game Boy Color had, according to my research here, had about 450 games.
Okay.
So I'm guessing there's some rollover.
Yeah, probably a little bit of rollover. I don't have
The
the
PS2 had the biggest library in history, over 4,000 titles.
Okay.
So
all right.
Clear winner.
So clear winner on that is the PlayStation 2 had the bigger game library. Okay.
Jesus.
Controller and hardware design. I really honestly think that this comes down to a personal preference, because it's hard to say, because it didn't do much more than the PlayStation 1 controller.
It had the black analog DualShock.
But PlayStation 1 had those as well too. There just was not as many games that could utilize it.
Okay, my PS1 did not have that. It was just the gray.
I think they had both. I think the later
I didn't have that until I got the black PS2 controller.
And I remember that, but I'm if I'm not mistaken, and I'd have to look it up. You can fact check me on that, because I might be wrong.
The PS2 was just a straight up evolution of the PS1 pad. It took everything that was right and made it better, and I think it added on the thumbsticks.
Game Boy Color didn't add anything to the Game Boy.
No,
it was the same,
simple, tiny screen,
it's simple.
No blacklight, no backlight.
Yeah, it's simple and it made sense, just like the original Nintendo controller.
Right. So if you wanted simplicity,
Game Boy Color by all means checks the box. And I think because of the
and here's the other thing, like the durability of it. How many PS2s? I feel like that had more durability, but it also wasn't moving around. You could drop a Game Boy way easier than you could drop a PS2.
Yeah,
because it was moving. So maybe the
I don't know.
Hardware.
I feel like controller/hardware design. I feel like they had multiple designs of the PS2. They made the PS2 Slim. They had the big Hunka Junka one that you could stand up.
That's what I had.
The PS Slim. I had both versions. The PS2 Slim, which had like the pop-up thing where you put the thing in there.
I didn't have that.
So
I had a tray.
That's right in the box right there. Actually, so
I had a tray.
The PS2. My PS2's in there.
Okay.
Personally, I would say the controller/hardware design. I mean, I give it to the Game Boy Color.
I give it to the PS2
because it's simplicity.
And I'm willing to concede it just because there's no way the Game Boy Color makes it out of this.
Yeah.
So my research has the PS2 winning this bracket as well. This thing has the PS2 winning every bracket.
Okay.
Just to
not 100% sure I agree with that, but.
Well, obviously, because you don't agree on this one, on the second criteria.
No, I think PlayStation 2 wins this all together.
Yeah. And so do I. Given our time constraints, should we move on?
We're at 24 minutes.
And we're on the first game.
Yeah, but we spent 16, 17 minutes setting everything up. Cultural impact, PlayStation 2.
Best selling console of all
time. So it's got to go PS2. Multiplayer factor, obviously PS2.
Right.
You had to have
that's where you're
you
gonna
had to have a
lose.
link. You had to have a link cable.
That's where you're gonna lose. All these handhelds are gonna lose on the multiplayer. Except maybe the
Innovation and
Switch.
features. I think that again, the innovation was it had updated graphics.
The
updated
PS2 had
sound.
backwards compatibility with the PS1. It says it right here.
Okay, all right.
You're son of a
Maybe it's the
bitch.
PS2 Slim that doesn't then.
Maybe.
Maybe the original PS2
And
did.
you could also play DVDs on the PS2.
That was huge. That was a big feature.
But the
'Cause
Game
I
Boy
remember.
Color was compatible with the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Introduced color graphics to handheld,
Mm-hmm.
but no backlight.
No backlight.
But I still think that goes to PS2. Graphics,
Obviously.
yeah, it's 8-bit against.
I think your overall fun factor, me, Game Boy Color.
Honestly, I might give that to you.
Because you can play it anywhere.
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 I mean, and the PS2 probably.
Just not at night unless you had a flashlight.
That's true.
But the PS2, the PS2 had the multiplayer factor, which adds to the overall fun factor
Well,
in the expansive games.
Well, and also one thing that made it probably best, Pokemon.
Game Boy Color, yeah. Cultural
Being
impact,
able to
Yeah.
able to play Pokemon.
and the crossover with
And now,
adding
I mean,
the link cables.
People are still walking around playing Pokemon.
Yeah. And then
They're
once you,
playing Pokemon Go.
if you have the link cable, it expands so much on your Pokemon library. So, but overall, this bracket, I think we both agree, PS2 takes.
PS2. Okay, you got it right in there. Okay, are we going down?
We're gonna go down, and then we'll go.
So
top
now we
left.
have the PSP against the GameCube.
We don't even have to talk about this.
I didn't think we had to talk about the last one, but we did.
Let's talk very briefly about this. The PSP was a PlayStation portable,
Right.
not a PlayStation 2 portable, a PlayStation portable.
Everything was different.
It was all the.
Everything was
It
different.
was the PS2 games with the PS1 graphics.
I wouldn't even. I'd say
on
that
a
was generous.
Screen that big.
I'd say even that is generous because I mean those games.
No, because you could watch UMDs, which were actual movies on that, so that the resolution was solid.
No, but I'm just saying like the games didn't work as I feel like a PS1 was still better than a PSP.
They were a slower down version of
That's what I'm saying. Like it
PS1
was
games, yeah. But it had the
not great.
PS. It basically.
But you had to have a different cartridge.
I shouldn't say it didn't have the PS2 library. It had games that were similar to the PS2 because of when it came out. Like for me, I had the PSP that had the Darth Vader on the back. It was all white and had a black Darth Vader on it. It was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just had a stock.
Yeah. It was
And
so
it was
cool.
souped up one like you
Yeah.
did.
I loved my PSP. I really wish I would have never got rid of it because I absolutely love it. It was great. GameCube, however.
PSP had more titles than the GameCube apparently,
Okay. So you have
but it's still giving the winner to the GameCube just because it was better. Smash hits,
Oh,
Smash Brothers,
yeah.
Metroid Prime.
controller hardware design. I think when you look at the PSP, it was a PlayStation 1 controller
with a monitor in
with
the
a
middle.
monitor on it.
But the GameCube was.
The GameCube was trying to be innovative, and that's what Nintendo always tries to do.
Uh-huh.
They always try to have innovation, right? And their controller is so jacked up. I actually have one over here if you're not familiar with it. I could show it. You know what? Let me just go grab it real quick.
Well, because
Good. I'm listening.
full disclosure, we're using our AI buddy here to help with this, and it is giving the edge to the GameCube, saying that the weirdly designed purple lunchbox controller was sturdy, it had a built-in handle.
Yep.
And I mean it's.
Oh God.
Oh, yours is black. But
I got
whatever.
I bought the black GameCube controller. So
but I
here's the
think
GameCube controller. It's the yellow part is not coming up, and the green is being hid by the
Yeah, the
by the green
background
screen.
removal.
So
Why am I picturing the GameCube controller differently?
well, I don't know.
I thought it was more N64-ish.
Nope. That's
Like
the
with the
GameCube controller.
3 prongs. Okay.
So GameCube.
The PSP is being called sleek, widescreen, portable,
Personally,
only one analog nub, and the UMD discs were fragile, and that is true.
that is 100% true. But it was very innovative with the fact that you could watch movies. You could watch
But you had to
full-blown
buy it.
DVDs.
You had to buy.
You had
a
to buy
movie.
the UMDs, yeah. But you could also buy a Sony disc and download movies and put it on there.
I didn't
Because
know-
that's what I did.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Good old LimeWire. So you could download movies and play them from the memory disk.
Cultural impact.
GameCube.
I'm gonna say the GameCube was more important.
Un-
Didn't sell huge.
Unpopular opinion, wasn't the biggest fan of the GameCube or a lot of the games on there.
Okay.
It's an unpopular opinion.
But the PSP is just outshined by everything else PlayStation has done.
Personally, if it was me, I would choose the PSP over the GameCube only because I had the PSP. I played the GameCube. Wasn't a huge fan of the GameCube when I played it when I was younger. PSP just it was me being able to play MLB The Show on the go.
But I would say the GameCube has aged better.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
You're gonna go
Yes.
play a GameCube before you're gonna play a PSP.
I get that.
How many PSPs are out there for functioning?
My nostalgia factor overrides almost everything on these lists.
Yeah. Obviously, GameCube is gonna be more of a multiplayer factor.
Yeah, GameCube with the win.
But innovative. The PSP was the first handheld to have 3D graphics. As you said, it played movies. It was a Swiss Army knife for nerds.
Yeah.
Movies, music, games, in your pocket.
Yep.
If you had really big pockets.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I think some people would say PSP is better than the GameCube. The GameCube was portable in a sense because it had the little handle.
But it also had wireless controllers.
You could buy wireless controllers. That is correct.
I mean, but I had wireless controllers for the Super Nintendo, but they sucked.
You could have wireless controllers on the Atari 2600. They made them.
Back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Long ass antenna, but
Where are we at with the breakdown right now? Do we know?
what do you mean?
Like the tallies of what's doing better.
Oh, I wasn't doing tallies.
Game library went to the PSP
PSP, yeah.
because it had more.
Yeah,
Controllers
and
going
hardware
to the GameCube, so we're even.
Cultural Impact,
Went to the GameCube.
GameCube.
Multiplayer went to the GameCube, so GameCube's ahead.
Innovation, I would say you would go PSP on this. Graphics and sound, probably a little bit of an edge.
A push.
It's kind of a push, but I think because of the DVD factor,
The PSP takes it.
PSP. Overall fun factor,
You're giving it to the PSP.
me personally, because of the types of games that I'd be playing, but I think
Is-
GameCube still wins overall.
Who does GameCube already have 4?
They had hardware design, cultural impact, multiplayer factor, so that's 3. Oh, I guess in that sense, PSP would win, but because they hit 4 of the 7. But I feel like
GameCube's got to take it.
I think GameCube does gotta take, because my nostalgia is taking over the actual like fun
Merits.
factor merit, because Mario Kart Double Dash.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm just being honest.
Yeah, it works.
The fun factor was that I could play all kinds of different games like Star Wars Battlefront 2 and MLB The Show on the go.
I mean, I had
But at the end of the
I
day,
had the PSP. I feel like I played Surf Ninjas, and that was about it.
I played
And
the shit.
Echo the Dolphin was on the Sega.
I
handheld.
played the shit out of my PSP.
I'm thinking of the Game Gear.
So
I don't think I played the PSP very much.
that's fair.
All right, so we're giving it to the
But
GameCube.
GameCube because of Mario Kart Double Dash.
Okay.
All right. So
Next up,
next one. This is
this is
Atari-
a David versus Goliath.
This
We're
is-
gonna have to really get into this on this one.
Atari 2600 versus the Nintendo 64.
Right.
My heart goes Nintendo 64 right off the bat. However,
But like
my
legacy.
nostalgia and my cultural impact destroys the Nintendo 64 with the Atari 2600. I think right away, I think cultural impact and innovation right off the bat is won by Atari. Without even talking, because at the time when these systems came out, please tell me when Atari 2600 came out,
What else was there?
what else was
Nothing.
there? Nothing.
It
Nintendo
changed
64.
the game.
When Nintendo 64 came out, it came out with these amazing graphics
That looks like shit now.
that are blocks right now,
Mhm.
right? I mean, Roblox has similar graphics. They're just updated in HD. I think the controller and hardware design goes back to the Nintendo 64. I think you give it
Yeah, it's doing more.
it's definitely doing more. I feel like game library, I feel like that could be a push.
Well, yeah, the Nintendo has a smaller library than the 2600.
How much smaller?
Over 500 officially released Atari 2600, a ton of shovelware. Is that like games that could work?
Like the Mystic games that are the adult games.
Those aren't officially released. I'm shocked. The N64 around 296 games. But I mean, so many bangers.
That's the issue with the game library. When you talk about the game library,
It's not just a number; it's quality.
so here's my issue with the game library with this. The Atari 2600 tried porting over all of these arcade games for the home console,
Like Missile Command and
yes,
stuff that we played before.
Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and at the time,
People weren't having it.
you didn't know any better, right? You didn't know any better. This library, these ports were just like, oh my gosh, I can play Pac-Man at home, you know. But long-lasting effect with some of these games, the Nintendo 64 has some of these games that are still to this day the greatest of all time. Point, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time is still listed as one of, if not the best game of all time.
And I mean, Smash Brothers,
Super Smash Bros.
Pod Racer,
Pod
Wipeout.
Racer.
I talked about those last week.
Which they are on other systems. I think they're on.
Yeah, but they're awesome on the N64.
They're so much better on the N64. NFL Blitz, the best version of NFL Blitz at the house, Nintendo 64 by far.
That's what I played it on the most. I know that much.
Blitz or Blitz 2000 or Blitz 2001. It doesn't
Whichever
matter.
one, yeah.
Doesn't matter. It is so much better.
Okay, so we're a push right now, right?
I think we're a push right now.
Cultural Impact is going to the Atari.
Cultural Impact, 100%. Multiplayer factor, again.
It's got to go to the N64.
It has. I think the edge goes to N64, but it's not as big as you think it is.
No, I think it's
because
people would sit and with the two paddles and they would play Atari.
Absolutely.
2-player Pong.
Yes,
That's
with
the
the
Atari,
paddles.
And you got two people
Yes, because
multiplayer.
If you've ever played Pong by yourself, it is the worst game ever. I'm going on record. Pong is the worst game ever, even
Worse than
multiplayer.
ET.
Even multiplayer version.
But the N64 had 4 players.
But the N64 had 4 players, and
then
tune in
they were good.
2 weeks from now, and we're gonna play some of those classic Nintendo 64 games out of the
multiplayer madness.
so freaking good. Those multiplayer games.
It's
Okay.
gonna get-
Anyways, it's gonna get heated in here. Oh my gosh, it's gonna get.
And then
It doesn't matter what it's gonna get. Innovation and features.
I mean, Atari is the first widely successful cartridge-based home
Innovation
console.
and features goes to Atari, hands down. I don't care what anyone says. You can fight me on that.
I mean,
Atari
but it did
26.
have a Rumble Pack. It had 3D.
You could save games.
Save games.
But you could save games on the PS1 as well too. So
But that's not in here.
What came out first?
Who cares?
But
Like,
what I'm
in
saying,
these two,
but what I'm saying, how innovative is that if they just stole it from someone else?
they
Atari
steal it?
2600 is not taking their stuff from anyone. I'm not saying they stole it, but they utilized something that was there that wasn't there,
it
or
was
that was there
innovation
already.
for them.
Huh?
Innovation for them.
Correct. The graphics and sound.
I will.
I mean,
Innovations and features. Who's it going to?
I think you give innovation and features to Atari 2600
Because
they
everything
were
was
the
brand
first.
new.
Yeah, I mean not the first, but they were mainstream. They were the first mainstream.
How are you going to argue graphics and sound?
It's 64 for
It's
sure.
gotta be.
100%. There's no question about that.
So where are we at?
Bong,
Are we at a push right
bong.
now? I feel like I need a sheet of paper.
No, I think N64 has it because we gave the edge, even though the game library was bigger with the Atari 2600, the quality was better. We gave that to 64. Controller hardware design, we gave that to 64. The multiplayer factor, 64. Graphics and sound, 64. Nintendo 64 wins this battle. Overall fun factor, I still think the N64 wins overall because when you go back and play the Atari 2600, it hits your nostalgia strings For a bit.
Yeah. Valid.
That's where it ends. Nintendo 64, you can still play for hours.
All right, and then a big fucking knockout.
You want to come
punch.
back to this one?
No.
You want to just hit this one
I
straight
think
on?
it-
All
I
right,
think
we're
it-
at 39 minutes.
Well, the winner of this one's going to go up against the N64, which is going to be just as bad.
Yeah. These. Yeah. All right. So Super Nintendo and Nintendo Switch.
Before we go through, first inclination.
First inclination. Nostalgia says Super Nintendo. My nostalgia for retro games says Super Nintendo.
Mine too.
I'm always gonna.
Mine too.
I think my mind is always gonna say retro games. However, I think overall, Nintendo Switch has to
Edge it out.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
So
Game library. SNES had about 1,750 games worldwide. The Switch has over 4,000 and still growing. Well, maybe not. Yeah, it'll still have games coming out.
technically,
It'll
it's
still have
growing,
games coming out. In just that, in number, the Switch has it, but
Yeah.
Super Nintendo games are pretty freaking classic. So quality, who's got it?
The quality of the games.
The library quality.
I think that's a toss up. I think this is our first coin toss.
Okay.
Because
Valid.
I don't know if we can truly come up with a legit answer to who has a better library.
That's valid.
So I say we flip
Flip the coin.
flip
Right, so
it.
we're flipping our versus coin. First flip because the Super Nintendo has just bangers,
Yes.
but the Switch
And many.
also does.
And the Switch
And
has,
a lot of the Switch is repeats of the Super Nintendo games.
or
Like friggin' Mario All-Stars.
this is my only issue with the Nintendo Switch. So many ports of the Wii U. Wii U should be on here instead of the Switch. My opinion. My personal preference. Wii U would take the cake on this. For me.
Yeah. Well, the Wii's on here.
The Wii is, but the Wii U is a completely
Well, and
different
isn't
system.
this hold on, let me look at this again. Oh, it just says console of all time, not retro console. of all
Correct.
time. Yeah.
It just says one. Oh, yeah.
All right, flipping the coin for, we'll say heads is Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
tails.
Tails. Okay.
Switch takes it.
Switch takes the game library. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Controller and hardware design. I really honestly think the Super Nintendo controller might be one of the greatest controllers of all time.
I like the oval
It's solid.
bean to it.
It's solid.
It had the bumpers for the first time. 4 buttons and 2
Yep.
bumpers. Not a lot to mess up.
It is a solid controller.
It became what everything else became
Yep.
because the Sega at the time was
Yep.
different and it didn't work out as well.
Yeah, it is a solid controller.
Is everything okay?
However, yeah.
Yeah.
However, the Switch with the design and what you could do with it, because it had the gyroscope on there, it gives it but it simplifies it though. It goes back and simplifies everything it does about a controller.
True.
It actually takes when you go to the mini controller that's like this big, right? You are literally playing with a Super Nintendo controller, but
Yeah, 2
bite
buttons.
size. Yes.
Mhm.
So
But it also
I
you could also just have a normal controller like I do for the Switch. You have the
Super Ni-
Joy-Cons.
I go Super Nintendo with this. It's close. It's very close. But I think Super Nintendo does.
Because everything they did stuck
Now, if we're talking about,
forever. Because this you could see the Super Nintendo in that.
I mean, like this is the greatest controller of all time, by the way. Look
But
it
you
up.
can see a Super Nintendo right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why it wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Super Nintendo takes
Even
the
in my
controller.
Switch
So it's
controller.
1-1. Cultural impact. Super Nintendo versus Nintendo Switch.
I think the Switch takes it.
I think it does too. I don't even think there's a.
Global.
I don't think there's a question here because Super Nintendo was competing against the Sega at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, nothing's competing with the Switch.
Oh, here's a hot take that you're not gonna like.
Okay.
The Switch saved Nintendo after the Wii U disaster.
Cultural impact goes to the Switch. Okay. If we have enough time, we're gonna get back to that comment because that pisses me off.
Well,
All right.
also the Switch became a hybrid console, which is a big deal.
So it's 2-1. Okay.
Multi-factor,
Switch.
multiplayer factor. Sorry.
Multiplayer factor Switch. You can play 4 games and you can play
Online.
online globally. So
Yeah, it's got to win. That's
innovation
not-
and features.
Okay, so the Super Nintendo upped a lot of the antes,
It did.
but the Switch has more features.
It did.
Well, I mean, is it fair to say it has internet? Because like that's not fair. The
I
Super
mean,
Nintendo never
but
had
it
a
has
chance.
but
It never had a chance to have internet.
Nintendo 64 technically had internet, but we don't talk about it because
I
it was
didn't
only
even
in
know that.
Japan.
Oh, well, I didn't even know that.
Graphics and sound. Honestly, Switch has great graphics, but the Super Nintendo.
for its time, the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
still
I
very
give it
crisp.
the Super Nintendo.
It's still very crisp, even if you're not playing on a CRT, which is what people like to talk about.
Mhm. I give that one to the Super Nintendo. Because the graphics just look great.
But
For
also
the time.
sounds really good.
Sound is good. It was great sound
soundtrack on
card.
Super Nintendo.
Great sound card.
So is that push?
No.
The Switch already has it.
Yeah, Switch already has it. But overall fun factor, I'm gonna go Super Nintendo on that one. It's very close, but it's because of my nostalgia kicking in.
Yeah, it's got to.
So, but
Um,
the Switch wins.
Our Pixel AI has a 4-2-1, 4 Switch, 2 SNES, and 1 tie.
That's fair.
Not
That's
far
pretty,
off what we have.
overall fun factor. You could argue goes both ways.
Right.
So,
We have 2 tie.
okay, cool. All right, awesome. Top left. We're at 45 minutes. Top left.
Yeah, I told you we didn't have time.
I know we gotta go through this a little quicker. Nintendo,
Against.
PlayStation 3.
How do you argue this?
God. Just tell me what the split is. Our next guest is
what
here.
is it?
Our guest is here.
Like,
What's the number of the split here?
The split is 3-3-1.
3-3-1.
All right,
almost.
I'll run it down.
Okay.
Tie on the game library
Okay. That's fair.
for foundational classics on the Nintendo. That's why.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd 100% agree with that one.
PS3 has more variety and more modern masterpieces, but
Okay.
Nintendo was an anchor. Controller goes to the PS3. 6-axis DualShock 3 wireless motion sensing.
You can't beat
comfortable.
PlayStation 3 controller was awesome. I love that. That was one of my favorite.
Cultural
6-axis.
impact goes to the Nintendo.
How does it not go to Nintendo? The cultural impact went to the PS2. The PS3 just made it smoother.
Yeah.
So
Multiplayer goes to PS3.
absolutely.
Innovation goes as their tie.
Oh, that's the tie.
So
Okay.
the D-pad cartridges without lockout chips.
Okay.
Innovated template for home gaming systems. Invented the template for home gaming systems.
Yeah, it's behind the bar.
PS3 had Blu-ray HD gaming.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Motion control, sort of. It had the. Is that the first one with the view, or was that the PS4? You know what I'm talking about?
The PlayStation Eye.
It had the bulb with the.
Oh, PlayStation 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
the PlayStation Move. Yes.
So that's an
Yes.
innovation thing.
Graphics and sound obviously went to
The PS3.
PS3, and overall fun factor
Yeah,
went to the
HD.
Nintendo. Okay.
So that one's a true push almost.
So how do we make the decision on this?
I think it goes down to that fun factor,
I think nostalgia kicks in because I still play the original Nintendo,
and I think that goes to the NES.
and I already got rid of my PS3.
Right. I think it just cancels out because it's not as
So NES.
comeback toable.
Yeah, I agree. So NES wins that one.
Well, we're gonna fly through this round.
Nintendo DS versus Sega Genesis.
I can't spell Genesis.
I'm going with Sega Genesis on this one.
I assume
Nintendo
I assume that was gonna win right off the bat.
Did AI say it?
The DS has more titles,
Okay.
and pretty much Pokemon is carrying it through this round.
But I mean, Pokemon can only carry you so long.
Right.
Where do you draw the line?
Because
Draw
the
line
DS
at
was, but it was RPG heaven, is what it says.
So I would say Pokemon can't carry Nintendo DS to the next round because there's another system that we're going to be getting to that
was
will
better.
carry that
Pokemon
Pokemon
was
will
more
carry it
instrumental.
into one more round.
I gotta give the DS the controller and hardware design.
I'm not
'Cause
a,
I fucking
and the
hate-
innovation
I
because
hate
you
the
could play
Genesis.
Sudoku with a pen.
Oh, interesting.
You know, like I mean, you had brain games and stuff on there, so it was cool.
Or we're not even at innovation. This is just controller and hardware design.
I know,
Which
but
I
I'm
think
trying to
that-
go a little quicker because we're at 48
I think the
minutes.
Genesis lose
You think overall the Genesis loses?
on this one, on the hardware.
Oh, on the hardware?
Next, we have Cultural Impact.
Cultural Impact, I think it brought in more gamers for the DS.
I was gonna say the DS
Yeah.
sold it like a fuckload.
Multiplayer factor goes to the Sega Genesis.
How much multiplayer could you do? 2 players, right?
Yeah, two players.
The DS had a wireless link.
Wireless link. But how often were you doing that though? I don't think it's a factor because I don't think a lot of times you were doing that. I'd play.
But didn't it also have online?
Yeah, but how many people actually used it? How many people had Wi-Fi at that point?
I mean, it's not like this was that long ago.
2006. I mean,
I had Wi-Fi and I don't know. You want to give it to the Sega?
I want to give it to the Sega. I think it deserves it. Cultural impact with the commercials than Sega has with Nintendo.
And with Nintendo. But we're not doing cultural impact, are we?
That's just
We're
me.
doing past that.
I know. Innovation features.
You're giving this to the
DS. The
okay,
graphics.
the dual screen, touch screen.
I think the graphics and the sound. I think Sega brought a lot to that as well too.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Super Nintendo.
It had some synth sound.
Yes. Yes.
It's a different
For me,
pitch.
overall fun factor, I'm going Sega Genesis because I still have my original Sega Genesis and I don't have my original Nintendo DS, but I do have a Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, but 3DS.
if
If that
I
was
had-
on here, yeah.
If a 3DS was on here, that might be a different decision. I'm going.
Does that give it to the Sega? Does that kick it?
I say we give it to Sega. Sega's not going to make it, unfortunately. I don't think, but
That's the next round.
I don't think so.
All right, so we're flying.
It
We're
hurts,
flying through.
It hurts me, but Xbox 360 versus the Nintendo Wii. I feel like this is a tough one. This is an 8-9. This is an 8-9 matchup.
This is a 1-2 matchup. I mean,
Is it though?
okay, no, but
I mean, if you're going one, then a Nintendo Wii is the one. Wasn't it like the second highest selling console of all time? It was the longest running console.
the kicker is gonna be for me Wii bowling, Wii tennis, like the just
I can pop in a GameCube disc into my Nintendo Wii.
okay.
That is another innovation feature that I think boosts that up as well too.
There were more titles on the 360. 2100 versus 1500.
But the quality of the game library, which Xbox 360 had a really good quality game library, but the Nintendo 64's, oh my god,
The
the
problem
Nintendo
is-
Wii's brought in families.
Yes,
to play together.
That's the kicker.
Yes,
The,
and
the
kids.
360 had Halo and Gears of War and gamer games.
Yes.
But the Wii was a family thing.
I feel like Xbox 360 versus Nintendo Wii is like arguing a Sega Genesis versus a Super Nintendo.
I could see that. But at
Because
Thanksgiving, you weren't going to pull out the 360 and play
no, you
Halo
were
with
pulling out the
everyone.
Nintendo
You were
Wii.
going to do Wii bowling. So I think
I'm just giving it to the Wii
I
at this point.
I agree.
I love the Xbox 360. I had it.
Controller-wise,
I still have my Nintendo Wii. The Xbox 360 controller is literally
it's still the same thing.
it's an updated Xbox controller.
But it, yeah, but
And
it's,
an Xbox
but it's,
One
it hasn't
controller?
changed since.
An Xbox One controller is an Xbox 360 controller, and the Xbox Series S is literally the Xbox One controller.
Right.
So
That's
it
what I'm
had
saying.
nothing's changed.
That's
You're just-
but
there's
that's a
no-
good thing.
Is it though? There's no innovation.
All I've done is made it a little bit smaller.
It is more comfortable. I will.
That's that's why they haven't changed it, because it's ergonomically
Where is?
correct. I don't think you have one over here.
I do. I have it literally right here.
But the Wii remote had that.
It's my Series X one. It's little. This is literally what an Xbox 360 controller looked like.
Pretty much,
Just,
it's different
just skinnier.
bezels, basically.
Yes.
But the Wii remote was different.
You could drive. You could put it in a steering
You put it in
wheel.
a steering wheel. Yeah, it
You
had,
put it
had
in
a lot
your.
of motion to
You
it.
could put it in your guitar for Guitar Hero.
I mean, it was
It had a gyroscope, which
it changed the way you play, but was it better?
no, but I think overall,
You're giving it to the Wii.
I think it's still. I think overall with the cultural impact of what it did, the multiplayer, the innovation, and the fun factor, I think you goes to the Wii. I
Okay.
think it's a close. I think it's a 4-3,
Okay.
but I think the Wii gets it.
Um,
Last one for the first round: Game Boy Advance versus PlayStation.
Oh, you're skipping the rest of these things. Okay.
Yeah, we got speed up. We're at 53 minutes.
I told you we didn't have time.
I
for
know.
all that
I'm
shit you were doing at the
sorry, but
beginning.
there was.
Fucking listen to me.
But there was some arguments on. I feel like this bracket is a little different. The other one,
Whatever. Justify it however you want.
sure. Game Boy Advance versus PlayStation. Fuck you, dude. Sucks. This sucks. I want to.
Resident Evil.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
That's
like
where it goes.
Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal 1 and 2.
There was a Wipeout on PS1 too.
But the best Pokemon games of all time
But is that
might be on the
Is that
Advance.
enough?
Metroid Fusion.
Let's see what Pixel says.
There was Metroid games on the Game Boy Advance were so good. Pokemon on the Game Boy Advance was so good.
Oh.
I can't remember if there's a Zelda game, but
Interestingly enough, the Game Boy, I didn't realize this, but it makes sense. The Advance came out after the PS1. 6 years after.
That's fair. But you also had backwards compatibility with the Game Boy Advance.
More titles on the PS1.
Okay, so PS1 wins that one.
Okay, so the PS1 did have DualShock and Rumble.
That's what I thought.
Okay, that's fine, fair. But it's also going to the PS1.
The controller hardware.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Cultural Impact's going to the PS1.
Okay. That's 3.
Became a powerhouse.
Multiplayer
basically.
Factor was PS1.
Oh, that's getting a push
Is it really?
because of Pokemon trades.
All right, that's fair.
Because,
That's fair.
Because it was so much of the console, and you were around trading with your
Innovation and features.
is going to the PS1.
So you PS1 wins there. Graphics and sound.
Is a tie
Okay.
because the Advance is great, has aged better.
Overall fun factor, I think
Is a
the
push.
I would give it to the
Game Boy.
Advance because
That-
again,
I would again
compatibility and being able to go
anywhere,
anywhere, and I can play all my old Game Boy games.
but
and
it
Game Boy
still
Color
goes to
games.
the PS1.
PS1. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Let's take AI out of this and let's argue these real quick. PS2 and GameCube.
PS2.
I don't think there's a question there. I think it's the PS2.
It's got to be.
I didn't like the GameCube. Nintendo 64 Switch. I'm going 64.
Are we flipping the coin? No, I'll meet you there.
Let's flip a coin, see where it goes, and see where it would go. I think the N64
When you think of all 7 criteria, give it to the N64.
Okay.
No, I mean, the problem being anything you want to play on the N64, you can also still play on the Switch, but
Okay, I'm gonna do the NES Sega last. The Wii versus PS1.
the Wii.
I think so.
And
PS1
we've already gone over the finer details
Yeah.
in round 1, but I think the Wii still has
This is the only one I want to kind of argue about just really quickly.
the NES versus Sega.
The NES versus Sega. This one personally for me is very tough because these are my these are like
big
my
ones.
top. If I'm looking at retro consoles and I'm talking like old retro consoles, the NES and Sega are my 2 consoles. This one hurts me to pick. No matter what, I lose. I lose this battle loses no matter what, whoever wins. If it's Sega or if it's Nintendo, it loses. I think for overall what the system did for gaming as a whole and for what the system meant to people and families, I do think the NES wins this. It hurts me because when I was younger, I would have both my Sega and my Nintendo hooked up to the same TV.
Well, I mean, like the Genesis, like the Mega Drive, that was kind of the big coming out of Sega. That's when
It was, and it
But now,
it blew it out of the water. Like I mean, it did what it
but
needed to
here's
do.
where my head goes. But now, when you want to play a Sega game, they're on the Nintendo.
I know.
That's kind of where you have to take that factor into account.
I think
for a best.
to this day, I still say Nintendo won and is still winning
The war.
the console wars.
Yeah.
Even between Sony and Microsoft, I honestly still think they're winning
Yeah, the Switch 2 is huge right now.
because
Right.
gamers don't care about graphics.
They care about games.
They care about game quality.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so that puts us in the
He has the final 4.
Nintendo against PlayStation.
No, PS2 versus Nintendo 64.
Oh, we're on the other side.
Yeah.
PS2 against N64. That's fucking tough. That's fucking
This
tough.
one hurts too.
That's fucking tough. I think it's gotta be a PS2.
For what specific reason? Greatest selling console of all time.
That and just
I played my
like,
PS2 less
the
than I
bone.
did my Nintendo 64, but I played both.
You're also
I played
older.
I played the shit out of both of them. I traded in my PS2 before I traded in my Nintendo 64.
Well, that's just because everything you wanted to do just got better for the PS3, PS4, PS5. The Nintendo there wasn't a Nintendo 128. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
became something different, so it made sense to keep hang on to that.
I mean, Nintendo 64 ended up going to the GameCube, and I feel like it hurt.
Right, and then had to readjust everything.
Yeah,
So everything got different.
and that's
so
why
you
the
kept
Wii.
your
That's why
N64.
the Wii was so successful
Because it tried to correct.
because it tried to correct the Nintendo
I think it
64.
goes to PS2.
I think it does too. I don't like it, but I think it does. I did love the PS2 though.
So then what do we have on the other side?
NES and Nintendo Wii.
That's like baby brother versus big brother. It's hard to go against the Nintendo though.
It's hard to go against the Nintendo.
But you didn't
I
have
mean,
tennis,
you're
though.
you're
You
playing
didn't-
with
well,
power.
you did have tennis.
You're
not-
playing with power.
It's not the. Only if you had the glove.
Well, if you play a Power Glove, yeah, or Rob. I think I give the slight edge to the NES, and I say slight, and I mean like we're talking like
It changed the game.
2 hairs, and I don't even have hair on my head, but that's how much.
But then we're going NES against PS2 in the final.
I have my choice in that. I have my pick. I say NES beats the Wii. You're gonna put the Wii against the PS2. There's no battle there.
True. And I think that's why the NES has to win.
I think the NES wins. Finals: NES versus PS2.
I know you already have your answer. I think it's the PS2.
I think it's the NES.
Uh,
I think you're going for the greatest retro game system of all time.
but it's just console of all time.
I understand that. Are we going strictly by sales? If we're going by sales, then yes, the PS2 takes the cake.
But see, I think like if I had the Nintendo versus this, it wouldn't have made it past the Super Nintendo for me.
What?
The NES.
I still think the NES makes it past the Super Nintendo, in my opinion.
Yeah, but in my opinion, it doesn't. So how,
Yeah.
if the NES didn't make it past the PS2?
Okay, very quickly. NES versus PS2. What does AI say? Because I want to know what Pixel would say about the game library, and I don't need all the details, but like let's just kind of go through
the
this.
final.
Yeah.
Right, it's giving me a book. PS2 takes the first category. PS2 takes the second category, and that was the controllers.
Mm-hmm.
Cultural impact was a tie.
All right.
Multiplayer goes to PS2. Innovation goes to PS2. Graphics goes to PS2. I don't know that it's really doing well. The graphics one, it's not doing like for its time.
I think you give the graphics and sounds because of at the time. I think you give the edge to the Nintendo slightly. I think the overall fun factor you give to the Nintendo slightly.
It gives it to the PS2.
I think you
But
give
still, it
cultural.
doesn't.
I think you give cultural impact heavily to the Nintendo. And it's 4-3.
But it's hard to say that because the PS2 sold so many.
Okay, so then that's a push. You could push graphics and sound because of the at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The overall fun factor, I think you could push because it comes down to a personal preference. Do you want more modern games or do you want more retro
So who's
games?
got 3 votes?
There's 3 pushes. Game library.
It's got to go to the PS2.
Okay, so I'll give you
And it's going to be...
and the hardware design. Multiplayer factor, I mean there really wasn't much. Innovation, I think at the time with the zapper gun
and NES is going to take that one.
and the power pad
But still, you have 3 already for the
and
PS2.
the Rob and the
Yeah, but you can
the
give
robot.
this one to Nintendo.
I think Nintendo.
Number 2-1, push.
Yeah, push. Innovation features, I would go to Nintendo because of at the time,
So do we have a literal tie?
and then multiplayer factor.
2 and 2 and 3?
Multiplayer factor gives PlayStation the edge. So it would be 3-1-3. 3 pushes, 3 wins.
For the PS2.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I
That's
think
tough.
I
it's
feel
kinda-
like I feel like I would give the game library a push though, because there
But
are
still, it doesn't tip it enough.
it doesn't tip it enough, but I still like
That's 2-1-4.
yeah, 2-1-4 because I
They're
think
very different. That's the problem.
yeah, because you gotta look at when they came out at the time. So I feel more comfortable giving
I would
PlayStation.
pick the Nintendo over a PS2.
Me too.
But only because I have a PS5. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
See,
don't have a Nintendo.
I'm okay with giving PS2 the win if we push these 4 categories. They win 2, Nintendo wins 1, and
That's valid.
I think there was more innovation and features on a PS2, even though there was the PlayStation Move and the Eye, which they tried to do something. No,
That was on the 3.
that was the
That was
PS3.
PS3.
So yeah, so I think innovation and features. I think definitely
Yeah, because Nintendo started it all.
Nintendo had the
It
Power
was working
Glove,
against the
the
Atari.
Power Glove, the Zapper, the Power Pad, the
Right.
robot. But PS2 is the
All right, guys. No gameplay this time, but I think we got into some
Let's throw some
There's
background play.
some things you really
game
wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think this is an easy one for you guys to jump in
Yeah, absolutely.
and say.
I want to hear what you guys all think about this one too. So make sure you
I
comment.
should take
down
that
below.
image and throw it up on our Reddit page.
That's a good idea.
I
That's a good
should
idea.
have done that.
And
I
just
should have
let
done
the
that when you sent
comments
it to me.
just go crazy.
So
So
I'll bet they will.
check out the Reddit page, but also check out our link trees.
Maybe I'll make a new version of the image so I'm not stealing somebody's.
Link tree down below with all of our merch to Reaper Apparel Company, W Energy Drink, our T Public store, which I'm not wearing today, but Kyle is.
I gotcha.
Our T Public store, and then all of our links for our Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Did you put our Twitch on Linktree?
Podbean, Spreaker. Totally, yeah.
Forgot to
We
do that.
keep forgetting to do that. So.
All right. Thank you very much.
But yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. Tune in the next 2 weeks because we have a really fun, awesome collaboration coming up here that we've been talking about for many months
Many
and
episodes,
years.
yes.
So,
Yes.
but I'm looking forward to it. Our special guest is waiting in the wings for us to
in the
stop
green room.
talking.
He's in the
He's
green
in the
room.
green room. So, but for the Terrible Gamers,
We're in the green room.
we are in the green room. For the Terrible Gamers, I'm Kevin.
I'm Kyle.
And as always,
Keep
keep on playing, guys.